Hey guys, good afternoon, and we are going to do background design today. Let's talk about background design. When you're looking at an animated film, one thing that makes the film stand out, okay, is the background. Yes, we are focusing on the characters in the foreground, okay, but the background adds to your animation. Okay, so this is what we're going to cover. Background design is a topic by itself. So let's look at different examples of background designs. Okay, I happen to grab a couple of them okay, on Google. Okay, this one is from Friendly Stock. As you can see, the watermarks here. Okay, this is a beach background. Okay, notice that we're seeing a few shadows here. Okay, and it makes use of the shadows, and we have some solid black lines, black outlines around that. That's just one style. Okay, if you notice that the black outlines are not around all the elements. Okay, if you notice that the ripples on the water here, you won't have any black backgrounds, black outlines on that. All right, so, and look at the clouds. Okay, you don't have any black outlines on the clouds. All right, yes, so let's look at another background. All right, one which is more, in fact, a beach scene as well, but this one is a softer scene. Let me enlarge this. Okay, this one is a softer scene where you don't have any black outlines. All right, but we're using the different tones, the different shades of that color, okay, to make your background stand out. Notice that the different shades of green here, okay, different tones here to make it stand out. All right, look at the different blues. All right, look at the sky and how it's different from the sea. We have different shades. It's blue, but we have different, okay, shades of blue. All right, yes. So away from the beach, let's go on to just a forest scene. Okay, notice that you don't need, okay, to have solid black outline to make your background stand out. Okay, look at this. All right, different. We have a lot of greens here, a lot of greens. All right, it seems a little monochromatic. We have some earthy colors, brown, green, and whatnot. Okay, even the sky in the background appears to be have a little hint of green to it. All right, okay, let's look at some cities now. All right, okay, look at this one here. So your background doesn't need to have, okay, it doesn't have to be precise, as in perfect solid shapes. Okay, notice that these have a stylized look to them. Look at how the windows are spaced out here. All right, and notice that these buildings here are in the foreground. Okay, we have some in the the mid here, and we have some buildings further on in the back. Okay, so what we're seeing here is that as the buildings are further towards the back, all right, it is lighter. The color, we're looking at shades of green here. The shade of green here is lighter than those in the front. It's a technique used to bring out depth, okay, in your backgrounds. Okay, if we have to take a look at another city here, this is like a monochromatic scene. We've seen a lot of purple, different shades of purple. All right, really stands out, and we have the light. Even the light in here is purple. Okay, so let's look at different examples of backgrounds in cartoons that we know. Phineas and Ferb. Okay, look at the solid, okay, the solid outlines of, all right, our characters here. All right, they stand out because the background tends to be, in fact, it is blurred out a bit. Okay, they're using something called depth of field. All right, where you see the object that we focus on being sharp and the background being blurred out. This is another technique that you use because you want the focus to be on the characters. All right, so from this, let's look at another shot from Phineas and Ferb. Okay, All right. Notice that they don't use solid black outlines. The outlines, sorry, are a darker version of the color. Okay. So for example, if the tree, we have a lot of shades of brown in the tree, the outline would be the darkest brown. Okay. Yes. So let's look at another example of cartoons. Look at Kick Buttowski. There's just one background here in Kick Buttowski. All right, we're not using any kind of outlines on these backgrounds. We just let the shades, the different shades of that color do the trick. Look at all the browns in the sand, the light browns, you know? Okay, look at the greens. Okay, look at the gradient in the grass here. It gets darker to lighter. Okay, look at the gradient on the road here. All right, here's another one. Okay, look at how Kick's outline is very solid, black, edgy, black outlines here. Whereas the background, it's soft, you know. It's subtle. There are no dark, harsh outlines around that. Okay, that's to differentiate the foreground from the background. It keeps your focus on the characters. Okay, if you have to look at another example, The Simpsons. All right, The Simpsons right here. Notice that yes, The Simpsons make use of shadows, as we can see here. All right, but it's not very intense. All right, usually The Simpsons are flat. Okay, if you have to look at one of the backgrounds of the couch in the Simpsons, okay, it's flat. The colors are flat with just a couple objects being shaded. Look at the phone here. We have one dark area here on the phone. All right, if you look at the Simpsons house, okay, all right, if you look at the Simpsons house, everything here is flat. Okay, and the shading, the different shades and tones of the colors, the trees and so on, will do the talking for you. Okay, if you have to look at Invader Zim tends to be more monochromatic. That this means that the backgrounds are basically one color and we use different shades and tones of that particular color. All right, here is one of the character in the background, over the background. Yes, you can see that a lot of purple and so on. Add some pink in there. Okay, but the character still stands out. All right, now when it comes to background, I tend to lean towards, okay, the style of, you know, stylized. Like, let's go on to this we saw before. Okay, this is something that I would do. It's not my work. Okay, something I grabbed off from Google, but this is something that I would do. All right, keep it simple, you know. So this is what we're going to do. I am going to show you my thought process and my execution of a background. Okay, so let me just get rid of this background here. I'll just open my Animate. Okay, and before I open Animate, I'll go on to my friend, Google. So I want to create a background that would reflect my my country, St. Lucia, or the Caribbean. Okay, so let's just say I want my background to be a Caribbean house. So let me just Google that, Caribbean house, and then I'll search images. Okay, so I'm kind of liking this one. Little house. So I'm going to use this as a reference. Keep in mind, I'm not going to copy it. I'm going to be using it as reference. All right. So I'm going to save this. Save this. And I'm going to have it in my background samples and call it Caribbean. Boom. Okay, so my Caribbean background is here. So let's go on to Adobe Animate, which is already open, and I am going to create a new file, which will be Full HD, right? 1920 by 1080. Okay, so I'm going to create my file. Here we go. So let's begin. So I'm going to have my my little Caribbean house on the side there, you know. Let's place that on the side there, so it won't be on my stage. That's what they call this area here, the stage. It won't be on my stage, but I just gonna have it there as reference, you know. Okay. Okay, guys. So we have a little balcony happening here. We have our roof and whatnot. Okay. So we're gonna take that same approach. Okay. So right now, in fact, the style I'm gonna be using lines. I'm gonna be using some solid lines just to get the outline of our house, and then I'm just going to delete those lines when I'm done with them. I just want to keep it solid so I can see the outline and the shape of the house. So I want my lines to be a little thicker. So let me just keep in mind, and I'm not going to copy the exact house. No. I'm just using it as a guide, reference, you know. Okay, let me make my stroke a little larger. All right, so I'm just gonna start working on the roof. Keep in mind that, guys, my house will be a little stylized. Let me see that my snapping. This can be applied to, okay, whatever software that you're using. All right, don't let that limit you. So have this here. All right. This. Notice that I'm keeping it simple. All right, and this part of the roof here. Okay, and then we have in this little area coming out here, and notice that I'm just doing some rough lines here and there, you know. Okay. All right. We have this little balcony area coming here. This here, that here. This line coming here, and here, and here, and here, and we have this here, and voila, coming up here, and okay, so this would be our little balcony area here. Doesn't look like anything now, but we're gonna make it something, you know. Yeah. All right, so we have this. All right, I'm just doing some random things here. Keeping it simple as possible. I'm gonna have it here. I'm gonna have this here. Okay, so all right, so we're gonna have one little window here. In fact, not one little window, it's like a big window. Notice that, okay, it doesn't have to be symmetrical or precise. Okay, I just want my window to look like a window, but I want it stylized, you know. Okay, this window here, okay, and this one here. And coming up here. Da, 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 da. And then we have, nope, 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 not here, not this one. Okay. Then we have your little blinds, or we see our louvers, louvers, blinds here. Okay, and okay, I'll just keep it simple for now. Just leave it like this. If we want to add some more stuff on the roof towards the end, we can. Okay, but here we need a door. So, okay. I think I'll continue this line to go towards the end here. All right, and then I will do my door, which will be somewhere around here. Okay. Okay, we can see the top of the door because of the perspective. Okay, we're only seeing a certain part of the door, and then we're just gonna add in a little window towards the end here. All right, all you're seeing right now is a bunch of lines, right? Okay, all you're seeing is a bunch of lines. Let's start fixing this guy up. Okay, we want this house to be made of wood, so it's always good to add in some little lines to show that it's wood. Our little timber castle kind of looking thing. All right, okay, so let me just add some more hair. One hair, one hair, one hair. Don't worry that the lines are all over the place. The lines are overlapping the other lines and whatnot. We're gonna fix that. Okay, we're gonna fix that. Okay, this my snap to objects is on, but nah, I would say Diana thing. All right. Okay, so let's start adding some color here. Now the color will make your house stand out. Although I will add my little thing they call in galvanize, you know, on the roof. And I'm gonna have it spaced real far. So exaggerate on the galvanize there. So we're gonna just, okay, if you notice in Adobe Animate, when you hover your cursor over a straight line, you get this curve. All right. Yeah, so, okay, we got this right here. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start adding some color. I want my house to be like light blue. Using a lot of blues here. Light blue, different shades of blue, and white. Okay, so I'm gonna have a dark blue roof. Okay. Yeah, a dark blue roof. I'm gonna be using different shades of blue here, right? And I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, and the top here will be a darker shade here. All right, and okay, I forgot to mention that when I do any kind of artwork, I don't work on a totally white canvas. Okay, I would probably use gray. Okay, so that I can actually see, all right, exactly what I'm doing. Because if it's white, we will not be able to see the elements of the piece that are white because our background is white as well. So, white here. Whoa, wrong layer. Let me lock this layer. Okay, white here. All right, and I won't use white completely here. All right, the same white. So I'm going to use probably this lighter shade of gray. Okay. All right. So here I'm going to add this here, and I'm going to add this here. and this shade here. See, we're having a problem here because this shade is the same shade as the background. All right, so we're just gonna make it a little lighter. Okay, so that we'll be able to see them. All right. Okay, so around the window frame, we can have our white, our solid white here. Not here. The here, and we can use this shade here and here as well. Okay, so for our blinds, our louvers, okay, we can add different shades up here. All right, now we want a light blue house. Okay, so I'm going to have a very light blue. Like probably something like this. All right, so nah, too dark. All right, this will work fine. All right, so here, and here. I'm gonna add some blue here. No, not here. As you notice, we're just alternating the different sections here. All right, so I'm gonna add that here and here and here. No, that's the back here. If you want to, we can just add probably this here. We're gonna be cleaning up afterwards. All right, and let's get another, in fact, use that same shade. Okay, and then we're just gonna make it a little, just a little darker to fill out, make this a little darker. Okay, fill out these spots here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have a space somewhere. Okay, put that here. We're gonna put, this is the spacing for the door. Okay, so I'm gonna put this here and this here. Okay, for now, and then we're just gonna add, this is our galvanize here as well. This is galvanized here as well. I forgot to, okay, and let's just raise this guy right here. His edges right here. Okay. Okay, all right. So we have this here, and let us make sure our part here is white, and then we're gonna use this same shade of gray for here. Okay, all right, so I'm not liking this background here because I am getting confused with my colors, my couleur. All right, I'm gonna use green. I will add foliage to that as well, so I'm just going to, this color should be good. Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna add this color. Okay, I can work with that. All right, so let's continue our house. All right, so our roof here. Doom, doom, doom. Doom, doom, doom. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do some cleaning up. In fact, let me this part here, that's an add. Okay, so let's do some cleaning up now. So like I mentioned before, I'm not going to be using solid backgrounds, so not solid outlines. All right, so I'll be depending a lot on shadows as well. Okay, so if our light source is coming from on top here, we'll get some shadows falling. All right, but we'll look into that in a while. All right, because there are different ways of doing that. All right. Let us start cleaning up. What I'm doing, I just want to erase some of the outlines right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. There are ways of just removing all of them, but I like to work in sections. I like to work in sections. One here, this here. So here we will focus on that roof here. And we're seeing like, okay, it's all right. All right, so we have our little roof. Come in really. All right. Sometimes you could just leave the black outline around the whole image itself, and inside of the image, you'll have no outlines. That's another technique that can be used. But my preference is just using the colors. Oh, no. So if I know myself, if I have to double click on this, everything will be deleted. Perfect. All right. Okay, so let me just do the same on this one. Perfect. All right, and here. No. Okay, let me just remove this. Perfect. All right, and I have some more stuff to add in there, so I don't want to delete all. Okay, so let's just work on the balcony part now. All right, because we have some more little details to add here. Okay, with this here, all right, I want to add in some yellow. Blue and yellow. Let's see how blue and yellow can work. All right. Some of you may be cringing like, why yellow? But let's see. All right. So we're going to use this side here. Okay. And in the front here, okay, we can use probably a lighter shade of yellow. Okay. All right. And we're gonna just, my Scrabble is working well. Okay. All right. So here. All right. The banisters here. Don't let all these lines confuse you. All right. Okay. And the banisters themselves will be white. Here, one here, one here, one here, and one here. Okay. So the door frame will probably be this gray here and this here. Okay, and we're gonna use the same white for our window frame. Okay, so we can start deleting some stuff. All right, we can try to get rid of everything. Let's see what will happen. Boom. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're starting to see our little house come into life. All right, so let's look at our window here. I'm gonna put a little curtain on the window, so it's gonna have a line here, and another line here. Don't worry that it's so jagged and so on. We're gonna fix that. All right, so we're just gonna be using, just reshaping this thing here. One here, and here, and here. Okay, so I will have like probably pink little curtains coming down there, here, and then we're gonna have this one here, the knots in our curtains being a little darker. All right, so if I were to double click on this, Okay, we have our little curtains right there. All right, if you want to, on this side here, we just have it pink there. Okay, and the door. Okay, usually we have our little brown doors, you know. We're gonna add a shade of brown on that there. Oh, this color is okay. All right. Okay, so the balcony has some flooring to it. Okay, so we're gonna add some flooring on our balcony, you know. Yeah. Let me undo that so I could zoom in. Alright, okay. Alright, so I am seeing a little speck of blue that's missing here. So I am going to get probably a nice shade of brown here to put as our flooring for our balcony. And I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay. Alright, so let's look at how this looks here right quick. Okay, and I'm gonna use this same brown here and get a darker shade of it to add to the background in our. Okay, so here we have just a little house. Okay, I just had to stretch there. Yeah, man. A little house here. Let me just, oh, what did I do? I wanted my move tool. Okay, so I'm gonna move this little house. I'm just realizing that I put the house on the same layer as our reference image. Okay, but I don't think I need this reference image anymore, do I? Yes, I still do. Okay, so, all right. So I would assume that the entrance for my little house there would be here on this side here. Okay, so you enter in the balcony here and then you, okay? So I'm not liking this this background here. So let me change the color of the background so that my house can stand out a little more. Okay, I love this here. All right, cool. Okay, so we have a house. The house needs to be on a surface. Okay, so for now, let's have a temporary little surface right there. So we're gonna have probably a little dirt road, a little dirt surface. You're gonna use that color here. For now, like I said, it's only temporary. Shoop, shoop, shoop. No, it's at the bottom. So we're gonna put it on the top here. Right, and okay. We have this here. Okay, I think I'm gonna use a dark shade of green for this. Okay, and my background will be blue, very light, very light. We don't want it to mesh with the foreground because our foreground has a lot of blue stuff in it, you know. We still want it to stand out. Okay, and to make it stand out a little more, what we need to do, let me get rid of this these outlines on our green. All right, what we will need, oh, I like my stylized stuff, so I will just bend my roof a bit, you know. Okay, right, I like them bent like that, like this. Okay, I like it like that. All right, let's bend this a little again, here and here. Nice, bend it up, bend it up. Okay, and here. Okay, you bounce back, put you back. Okay, excellent, great. So this is a lot of touching up and these kinds of things here. All right, so I want to add some trees and stuff to this. Okay, so simple shrubs in the foreground. All right, I'm just gonna yeah. Always remember to lock your layers. Lock. Thank you. All right. While I'm having my fun. 5. I'm just gonna grab this and put it there. It will make no difference. The shrub will be filled on that side of the screen. Okay, all right. So, all right. I think this is kind of okay. I'm kind of satisfied with this. So I'm gonna use a different shade of green here. Almost brownish. Rod hair. It's fine. So that it can stand out. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this here. Okay. And if we were to delete this, okay, we'll have some spaces in between there. Just fill that up. Okay. Now, if we want to, using our brush, okay, we can get a darker shade of this. Yeah. I'm gonna use this one here, and we can. That's too thick. We can, but at the same time, this is too. It's too close to the other one here. So, okay. All right. I don't have my tablet with me, so I'm just adding up these little spaces here with the mouse. Okay. If we want to add a little coconut tree on the side here, all right. Notice that I'm working with layers. Okay. I'm working with some layers here. So, coconut tree. I like to use thick lines here. Coconut tree here. 1, 2. All right. Here. Going up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy that and duplicate it so I won't have any issues. That here. This comes here. No, I don't like it. I don't like this, so I'll put it, make it stand out the other way. All right. Okay, and then we're gonna be using some almost grayish brown here, and I'm just gonna slice this up. And I am going to use just a lighter shade of that. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so boom. All right, and I'm going to just copy this, paste it, free transform, flip this guy here, add it here, and use my alt to just alt and click to just copy it. Alt and click again, copy it, and we just resizing them things, you know. All right, if you want to, you could have this one be in a different shade of Okay. All right. So let's add this guy here. It doesn't even have to be touching, you know. That's the style, you know. It's kind of artistic. Yeah. All right. So this here we can just. I'm going to just call that coconut tree. All right, and we can duplicate these guys how we want. Okay, I have one here and flip it on this side here, and this guy here can go on a layer at the bottom. That's below the blue. Okay, he can be at the layer at the bottom. Okay, and we can just lower the brightness so he could be in the background, you know. Another one here. We have little coconut trees all at the back there. There's one further back. I'm gonna have this one black. Okay, so our scene is coming to life, you know. Yeah, so our little hedge here, you're gonna make that a symbol as well. Let me just call it a hedge. What I spell that? I don't know what I spell it as. Okay, so just gonna copy that and just place it on different areas. Let me just place this guy above the coconut tree so we can just be on top here. I have both of them selected. Nope. Okay. All right, so this guy could just be here. Okay, and yeah, so if we want to as well, okay, on the house itself here, notice that I think I have, okay, this area here, yellow. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, that I have it as gray. All right, let me, okay, 42. All right. Okay. So if we want to, let's look at our scene. Okay, this is how our scene looks right now. All right. If we want to make our house really stand out, you know, we can also have some leaves sticking out on from here, you know, and the leaves themselves can be the same color as the, keeping it simple, you know, they can be the same color as the grass. So when you'll see the effect that I'm looking for. Oh my goodness, let me lock everything and just have these guys open. Perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete these so we can actually see the leaves popping out from the grass here. Or if you want to, okay, keep it here and just have it a little lighter. In our properties, the lines, have our lines a little lighter, and we could just play around with our lines. Bend them up a little. Okay, bend it up, and so on. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so we have the grass coming in. So with this, I'm going to have this just a darker shade of the green. All right. Okay. If you want this to really stand out some more, okay. Our trees in the background here. Let me unlock them. Okay, we could just blur these trees out. Control select all of them, or shift select all of them. In the background, you convert that to a symbol. Make sure it's a movie clip, and then we're gonna add a filter on that. We're gonna blur it out. Okay, we're gonna blur it out. Blur. I'm gonna put my blue on high, and then just bring this up a notch. Okay, so we have our trees in the background here. All right, and then if we want to just finally, let's just add some clouds in the background, you know, because it's not a perfectly nice day. We'll get some cloud cover, you know. So with this one here, we can actually make sure my brush is white. Okay, and then we're gonna doesn't matter how. Okay, all right, gonna have this cloud here. That's one cloud. Create our symbol, name it cloud. Make sure it's a movie clip, because if it's a graphic, you won't be able to add the blur effect that we're gonna put in right now in filters. I like my work on high, so boom. Okay, right. If we want to, we can actually alt select and have another cloud here. If we want to, let's change the size of it. Okay, if we transform that, yeah, man, crazy. I hate selecting the wrong thing. All right. Okay, so yeah, so I am satisfied somewhat because of the class. I am satisfied. Okay, but if I had more time, I would just add more to this. Okay, add in the depth of the shadows. If I want to, let me just add some more shadows in there. Where is the house? Where is the house? Where is the house? We have so many layers right now. So many of them. Okay, here is our house layer. What we can do, there are several ways of doing it, but one technique that I use, all right, is this, and I'm just gonna add black onto this here. All right, and what I'm going to do, okay, I'm just gonna change the opacity of the color, okay, by playing around with the alpha. All right, you can see I created a shadow coming down from the top here, okay, going to here. Okay, it created a little shadow, and you could do that for the rest of them as well. Okay, all right, that's one way of doing it. There are several ways of doing this kind of effect. Okay, so you have your house, and now that's one style of backgrounds. That's a semi-stylized. Okay, but it depends on your preference and the artwork that you have to work with. For example, if I were to probably grab a character, let me open recent, let me see Kokobo and Girard. Okay, if I were to grab, let me go in the library and just grab Girard. Front. Okay, I'm gonna copy this guy and paste him onto my scene. Make sure he's on top. Make sure that your background complements, okay, your characters. Okay, so here we have Girard in front of his grandmother's home or wherever. Okay, so if you have to look at our scene, okay, we have Girard in front of his grandmother's home. All right, if I were to save this, I'm going to save as, no, I'm going to export. Export, I'm going to export my image. And I'm just going to put that in the background samples layer. Grad. And 1920 by 1080, 72 dpi. Export this guy. And where is he? Grad. Here we go. All right, so here is my background I created. Okay, for Coco Boy and Grad. All right, here we have Grad. I think I'm going to use this. Yeah, I'm going to use this as a house. Traditional Caribbean house. Okay. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me. All right. Let me see. Something is up with my house. Because I'm seeing this little empty area here. I think I accidentally erased this area. Ted, you're clumsy. It's always good to go back at your work and look and see the mistakes that you have made. All right, so properties, and I'm just gonna add my yellow. Was it a darker yellow or a lighter yellow? I can't recall. All right. Okay, great. So we have our house. Okay, with this being said, guys, this is the end of the session. Okay, feel free to work on your backgrounds for your characters. I'm looking forward to seeing your work. Keep on drawing. Keep on practicing. See you later. Acid 3, 2, 1. I gone.